It is 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order.
Yeah.
Roll call. Kathy Tendrich. Virginia Sampolino.
George Pursuno.
Kelly Vashon, Finance Director. And Becky Hewitt is our recording secretary. So I would like a motion to approve the minutes from our March 12th, 2018 meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion accepted to approve the meeting minutes for March 12th, 2018. Item number 4 on our agenda is old business. We have no old business at this time. So item number 5 is new business. Item 1 is to consider and act on tax refunds as requested by the tax collector. The total amount is $678.40. Toyota Lease Trust is $353.65. Christopher and Charles Hybo is $22.29. And CCAP Auto Lease Ltd. is $302.46.
I'll make a motion to pay out those tax refunds that we've identified.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion accepted to consider and act on the tax refunds as requested by the tax collector in the total amount of $678.40. Item number 2 is to consider and act on appointing members to the Charter Revision Commission. We have received our interested parties for the Charter Revision Commission, and we have selected 5 to be on the Charter Revision Board. The first person that is on is Terry Sweener. Then we have Lou Sawyer, Mary Poitras, Mike Supernaut, and Tom Sinkowitz. Those are our 5 members that we have chosen to be on the Charter Revision Commission. I just need a motion to accept that, or if we have any questions.
Oh, I have a question before a motion comes up. What about party affiliation? What are the party affiliations?
So we have 3 Democrats and 2 Republicans, and that's what we need.
Thank you. I'm just checking.
Any other questions, or?
They're all willing and able?
Yes, and they all have the time. And really what it is, and we had discussed this at the last meeting, it really is a commitment, a big commitment for a short amount of time. It probably takes 6 to 7 months to do that. But again, it depends on how the board, the members set their meetings. They can set them 1 meeting a week, 2 meetings a week, 3 meetings. It depends how soon they want to be able to get their meetings in the commission.
All right, is the board of selectmen going to give them any kind of instructions? And
Yes, we
how
have-
they should be approaching, making changes or whatever?
The dates, there's pretty much, I don't want to say it's set date because they get to pick the dates that they want to meet, but it has to be within a time frame because it has to be to the Secretary of State by the end of September in order to be on the ballot for November.
Well, I understand, maybe if we misunderstood the question. My question is, are they going to be given any instructions as what to revise? Or are they just going to get top branch and revise what they want?
No, so what happens, George, is the selectmen will give them what we feel needs to be changed.
Oh, that's good.
And then they also go through the charter and they find things that they feel needs to be changed. But there are 2 town meetings that the charter members will have to take it to a town meeting twice, okay?
And
to
they're
be
going to ask the
approved.
public at that point what kind of changes they like?
No, it doesn't ask the public, it's just they state what our changes are, what we have requested,
Okay, well,
and then the town
okay,
has
well
to
then,
vote
let
on
me
it.
ask the other question then. Is the public going to be able to make any kind of suggestions to
No.
the chart? We're not.
I don't believe reading the charter revision and going all of the past, that it's between the selectmen and the charter members.
That's it?
Well, you have to take into consideration, George, not all residents even know what's in the charter.
No,
I mean-
I understand that, and maybe I'm being overly active.
So are you saying
I'm
if
just saying, I
somebody in
think
the audience
if
brings
somebody in the
something
public
up?
wants to make a suggestion, I think they ought to be able to.
Yes, they can make that suggestion, and what will happen, it goes back to the charter revision
Okay.
members.
All right.
Okay, I'm sorry, George, I misunderstood what you said. I apologize.
Then I'll make a motion that we approve the candidates that you stated to be on the Charter Revision Commission for what, a period of 8 months or whatever.
You don't really want to set
Okay.
how many months,
All right.
George,
Then
because
I'll
it really
remove that.
depends on
Okay.
how they set their
Okay, then
meetings.
I'll make a motion that, let me restate the motion. We appoint the nominated candidates
Mhm.
to the Charter Revision Commission.
No.
Do I have? All in favor? Opposed? Motion accepted, passed to accept the members that I stated, Tom Sinkowitz, Mike Supernaut, Mary Portress, Lou Sawyer, and Terry Sweener to be on the Charter Revision Commission. Item number 3 is to consider and act on adopting the proposed year 2018-2019 town budget. So we are open for discussion. Any questions, any concerns?
Well, I don't have any questions, but I want to make a statement here. I got to applaud you for what you did with this budget. We're coming in with a negative on the town side, a negative increase of .43 of a mil. I think that's fantastic.
Thank
You ought
you,
to be applauded.
but thank you to Kelly. Kelly and I worked hard on the budget to try and cut what we could and do what we could. Spent a lot of hours on it.
Yeah.
And Kelly knows our budget inside and out, that's all I'm going to say. I can ask her any question, and if she does not know the answer, she's
Well,
on
I've
the
been talking
phone.
with her too, almost every day. And this is
Me too.
fantastic, it really is.
So you really need to applaud Kelly. Kelly,
I
thank
do.
you so much, because we've worked hard on it. And our communication, we've had really good open communication.
Do you want Kelly to kind of review?
Yes,
those?
if you yes, please.
All right, in the proposed budget right now, we have ECS funds for the state of Connecticut at 13.4 million. We have, let's see what else, we have LoSiP, which is down 87,000, we have it at 142,931.
You're going through the revenue. right?
Revenue,
Okay.
yes, yep. And, let's see, what else got reduced? I guess those are the big reductions that we got from the state of Connecticut, those two right now. I don't know what's gonna be coming on the second part, but as of right now, that's what we have. We have an increase of municipal revenue sharing account, that went up 144,000, so that's a benefit to the town. Local revenue, we have discontinued the daycare, so you'll no longer see revenue or expenditures for the daycare fund. Investment interest, that has gone up due to the favorable market. One of the new items that we tried to put in this year, which I discussed with the tax collector, it's called back taxes. Every year, we budget for our mill rate and we collect tax revenue. So say estimate 27 million. In that 27 million, there's always back taxes. We always have tax sales or people pay back taxes. So what we're trying to do in this year's budget is to absorb those back taxes to offset the mill rate increase. So instead of going to the fund balance every year, we give money back to the fund balance every year with our tax revenue account. This year, we're gonna try to absorb it in the mill rate, so you'll feel it in the year that you receive it. So that's 425,000, so that helps dramatic with our decrease in our mill rate. We got an increase in town clerk fees, that went up, favorable. I guess that's pretty much everything else, you know, looking good. I guess that's about it for revenue. For expenditures, well, I'll tell you what the net is like what George said. The required mill rate would be 29.49, and that's a decrease of 0.43. For expenditures, we had various decreases. Buildings and grounds, decrease of 15,000. Selectmen, one of her line items, decreased the total amount of 3,397. Tax assessor, reduction of 2,800. Tax collector, reduction of 23,000. She had 2 full-time people in her office, and she decided that she could get away with a part-time. So right now, she has tax collector, a full-time, and a part-time. So that's a savings of 23,000. Highway department, we had in this budget 11, in the prior year budget, current budget, 11 people. Right now, we feel we can man it with 10 people, so that's a reduction of 55,000. Reducing some motor fuel, $5,000. Recreation head, the head of recreation has left employment, so we looked at that department, and we're gonna try to do a part-time position for that. That's a saving of 24,000. Summer transportation for summer camp, no more transportation will be provided. That's $5,000 savings. Discontinued daycare, so that's expenditures were 220,000 for current year.
Can I stop you 1 minute? There is still a limited amount of money in the summer rec transportation.
Yes, there is, and that represents the children that are housed, say, at Shepherd Hill or one of the schools. They get bused down to use the pool.
Okay.
They get bused down, I think, once a week.
All right.
So that was an estimate to come here to swim in the pool.
All right, so, but the parent would still have to bring it
Yes.
to the site.
Yes, yes. Let's see, what else? Insurance, we had our liability insurance and workers' comp, that was a reduction of 5%, I wanna say. So the saving is 17,000. Postage, we reduced 5,000. Computer line item, 23,000. LoSiP was cut, like I stated, in the revenue, so that's a reduction of 87,000, it just offsets. Retirement payout, next year's budget, we only have 1 retiree. This year we had 2, so that's a reduction of 27,000. Debt is favorable, our payments, our principal payments are going down, so 54,000, and I mentioned tech services. So roughly, it's 590,000 decrease. Some of the increases that you might want to notice on the budget, the biggest one is our pension. We have our pension that is on the town side, and it houses the Board of Ed and the town employees. So the actuarially is an audit report that we do every 2 years on our pension account, and they recommend $1.5 million contribution every year. Right now, we're doing 1.2, so we feel like we should do leave it at 1.2 versus 1.5. 1.5, we feel is too much of a burden right now, so if we leave it at 1.2, we should be fine.
All right.
So we pay the pension of all of the school
School
employees that are
employees,
in it.
yeah, so that would be custodial, secretaries, and paraprofessionals.
Right.
Teachers and
That's because it's the
administration.
same insurance program as.
Pension, yeah, the pension,
Right.
yeah.
And the pension, right? Okay.
Correct,
All right.
yes. So that is a
But
big
that is
increase.
something that could be in the school board budget.
Yes. Let's
That's
see.
interesting.
Well, it was way back when, I know the contributions were very minimum on the school side, so it was decided to bring it back to the town side. So we've been keeping up with the pension contributions, trying to bring the account back up.
I mean, it's all the town money.
It is, yeah, it's all part of the mill rate. We're about 79% funded
No,
right now.
it's not that it's part of the mill rate, it's part of the pension.
Yes,
Okay, that's different.
it's a pension
Like-
fund,
Like
it's a
Ricky
fund.
is saying, we're paying the town employees as well as the Board of Education employees
Yes,
for the pension.
yes,
And
yes,
that should be stated publicly also.
yes, okay. And then one of our other big increases was medical. Medical went up about 7%, $93,000 increase. Let's see what else. One of our highway leases, it's a last payment on the lease, so that's 59,000. And then that municipal revenue sharing grant I was explaining at the beginning, revenue, the revenue, you have to have expenditure to offset it, so that's an increase of 144. But if we don't get the funding, that 144 will be gone. We have some salary additions for the town hall, recreation, and highway, a total all combined 45,000. Police contract is under negotiation, so we do not know yet what that's gonna be. And the highway contract negotiation too. So those are two contracts that are up for negotiation. That could affect the budget. It could benefit. Those are pretty much it, the big items that you see on the proposed budget. It's total net of 1.3% increase. The school budget that's proposed as of right now, it's a $210,000 increase, 1% versus last year, well, current year's proposed budget of 34 million.
Well, that'll be question Wednesday night, not tonight.
No, but that's just a summary of all the expenditures that we have right now.
All right.
And then the other thing, just so you guys could look at, is that proposed capital improvement plan. There's some items on here that usually gets funded through LoCIP, local capital improvements, as long as we get funding with the state of Connecticut. Currently, one of the items that we discussed, Kathy and I, was the highway garage, the roof. The roof has been, I guess, deteriorating over the years, and it's been on this plan for, I wanna say at least 10 years now. So we're gonna try to focus on at least completing that task with some local capital improvement money. And that's pretty much what we have proposed.
So, do we have any questions, comments, concerns?
Well, I just think that for the public's sake, that the one additional police officer is not in the budget. I guess it was initially in.
Yes. and we took it out.
But, you know, we are trying to keep the budget as low as possible, to not increase taxes, so. Even though we do feel it's a valid
It is.
concern and.
It is a concern, and I do believe that we do need another police officer, but with all the cuts that we're making, it just doesn't seem like the right time. And I hate to say that because every year it's the same thing. It's never the right time to add another police officer on. But with new contracts, union contract negotiations, and really trying to cut our budget and benefit the town at this time, it's not in the best interest to have another police officer on board. And again, I would like to just thank Kelly very much, because her and I have really worked hard to go
both
over
of
the
you
budget.
gotta be
We
congratulated,
have
really.
worked hard. It's painstaking because we know what we want, we know what we need, and sometimes things aren't possible to be able to do that and have the townspeople's best interest. So it
And
is a
have their
difficult.
support,
Right.
because, you want a budget that really has a chance to pass.
Right.
Or if I'm not on the water, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt
The proposed fiscal year 2018, 2019 town budget.
A second?
Do you need to also say the
Capital improvement plan.
capital improvement?
Yes, please.
I'll add the capital improvement plan to that. So I'll make a second to that with the addition of the capital improvement
All in favor?
plan. Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed to accept and act on the adopting proposed 2018-2019 town budget to include the capital improvement plan. Thank you very much.
Good work.
Thank you.
Item number 6 is other. We have-
Yes, when do you think we might be going to the referendum on the entire budget? When do you have any
It's
ideas?
the third Monday in May.
It will be the third.
Yeah,
Monday
it's
of
per
May?
town charter.
That's
yeah.
per the
Mhm.
town charter?
Yeah, third Monday in May. The first Monday in May is your town hearing.
All right, what if it isn't set by then? I mean, hypothetically.
The state budget? If the state budget isn't set by
Yeah.
then?
You're talking about state revenue, correct?
Well-
Like the predicament that we got in this year. You just try to prolong it.
Oh, I would like to know what we're getting from the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
have-
they've already told us what they're gonna give us.
Yeah, the first go around, yes.
Yeah, right.
They still haven't voted on that budget.
Well, Malloy passed the budget, it was a 2-year budget.
Right, but don't they have some?
They can always do a
They
bill,
can-
they can always have a bill and amend, current
Yeah.
proposals and throw in holdbacks, throw in, cuts, yeah.
Right.
So anyways, it's the third Monday in May.
Yes, yeah.
Thanks.
Any other?
Any-
Any other? So at this time then, we will open it up for public comment. So if you have any,
Hi, Laura Stegall, Moosup. I just had a question. We're having a governor election this year, correct? Do you think that will affect our budget? I mean, they can come in and change, a new governor can? I mean, I think that would be more favorable for the towns. I think so, if we get a different governor in there, but,
I'm hoping, that'd be great, that'd be.
but that
that'd
can
be
happen
great.
though, is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
I was just
that's
curious.
great, yeah,
Okay.
it'll be good.
That would be great if
Yeah.
it did.
All right, thank you.
Hi, Louisa Tracus, Town Clerk. I don't mean to overstep, but can I just ask that you reword the motion to accept the candidates for charter revision? Because I believe, if I'm not incorrect, that it has to be by resolution. And I just want to make sure that's the way it's passed, so it's correct.
okay.
Okay,
So we need a motion that is by resolution.
by resolution.
So if we could just back up on that and go back to consider an act on appointing members to the Charter Revision Commission, if we make that motion by resolution.
I'll make that motion by resolution.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So we will accept, consider an act on appointing members by resolution to the Charter Revision Commission. Thank you very much, Louisa.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
June Gagney, Central Village. I just have a question. How come you didn't go for more people on the charter revision?
Because at the last meeting, June, I had stated that the more people you have, sometimes it's more difficult to be able to come to a decision. And because it's so important that we stay within that time frame to get it on the November ballot, I do not want to have to spend town money to go to a referendum. I really want it to be on the November ballot. So again, what we did is we took the people who pretty much contacted us originally in the beginning. We discussed who we thought would be a good fit for it, would really be able to devote the time, because again, meetings are gonna have to be evenings because people work. So that's really how we determined June,
Okay.
how we.
Because I personally think it would be better to have more. Because I know 2 others that also applied and they're really qualified beyond me.
Yeah.
Because I was just interested in helping if you needed more people as far as taking care of
And I
writing.
did receive a couple days ago.
Right, and literature and writing and the grammar and stuff. But I think you need more than 5. If you can have a limit of 15, I think you need more. Not for me, I'm asking, because I know 2 other people that applied, and they're more than qualified to help. More beyond anything I could do. But,
Yeah.
I think you should think of adding a few
It was
more.
a decision that we made because we want to move forward, and it's been approached before and not happened. So we wanted to take everything that we've learned over the years and try to make it where it is gonna go forward, we're gonna accomplish what we set out to do. It
It'll be
does need
interesting
to
to
be
see,
amended,
yeah.
so we wanna just make sure that it is.
Yeah, I can't wait to see
So
how
thank
it
you.
goes.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure though that when they meet, they will have, like, open forum for people to come in.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That would be really good.
To have residents come in?
Right.
Yeah, that would be really good.
People should feel free to come in and
To
give,
have a part of the
you know,
charter.
even though they're not a part of the thing.
That's a great idea, I think.
Yeah, say what they want.
I think so.
Yes, Louisa?
So, Louisa Tracus, I just, in addition to that, just wanted to say, keep it in mind that all of those meetings will be public meetings,
Right.
and they'll be posted, and anybody can attend. And like Kathy said previously, there will be at least 2 public hearings prior to any decisions, and I believe the Board of Selectmen also has to have a public hearing.
Yes, we
So
do.
there'll be several public hearings where people can speak.
Thank you.
Sue Hall, Central Village, is the town lawyer going to review the wording of the ordinance?
Are you talking about the charter revisions?
Yes, when it's.
Yes. Yes. And we have already had contact with our attorney as we're moving along, just to make sure that we are doing what's best. So yes, he will definitely review this, because this is something that, again, this is our laws to run our town, so it will be approved by our attorney. Thank you.
Matt Ravan, Musa, 2 questions. First one, where might I or any other resident be able to find a copy of the Board of Selectmen minutes?
There,
Are they posted online?
It should be under the calendar.
yeah.
Okay, are they linked through old, previous calendar entries, or is there a separate location on the website?
It's right on the calendar on the date. You click on the meeting and it'll pop up and you click on the link and then the minutes will come up.
Okay,
Yeah.
good to know.
Or you can get a copy in the town clerk's office.
Okay. Second question, given the complete financial mess in Hartford and its only ability to be unreliable and unpredictable, are there contingency plans as part of the budgeting process for where, should there be an additional holdback, an additional cut, anything of the sort, where the town is going to be approaching to look? I'm not looking for details of that now, but whether or not there are contingency plans.
We are looking forward.
Well, like normally, like what the town usually gets cut is local capital improvements and town aid. So town aid is used mostly for highway purchases. So we wouldn't purchase, and salt usually gets purchased through there for the winter. So kind of makes it a hard year. But that's what would be cut. And local capital improvements are the items like on our 5-year capital plan, those are the items that would be cut. And no paving to the roads. Those are the items that we would probably have to not go into.
Thank you, Matt. Any other questions, comments? Okay, so I would, item number 8, a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
It's like,
All in